Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. We're doing a repeat of Pauri 28 today. So please let's participate and have a real discussion over it. I've had an opportunity to re-look at it and really see some deeper meanings into it. On the surface, it seems that Guruji is saying that the outer garb doesn't matter. But as I look at it, Guruji is saying that the way of life of the yogis and those that leave the world, the renunciates, is not the path of Sikhi. And every path, every faith to a certain degree has its own identity, its own way of practicing, its own rituals, its own identifying marks. And here Guru Nanak Dev Ji is taking the identifying marks of the renunciates, of the yogis, and saying that for me the equivalent of what you are donning is this. And as I look at each word and each line of this Pauri, what I come away with is that this is one of the most pithy, one of the most dense Pauris in Japji Sahib, and it encapsulates the entire philosophy of Sikhi. Everything about Sikhi pretty much is enshrined in this. In this Pauri. And there are Pauris like this scattered around in Sri Guru Granth Sahib. There are some that are prayers, from the yearning of the heart. There are others that are pure blessings. There are some that are affirmations about God's presence with you. This one absolutely contains the essence of the Sikh way of life. What is the Sikh way of life? This is what Guru Sahib is telling us over here. Munda Santok. So he's looking at the hoops that the yogis wear, and the Guru is saying that my hoops are contentment. In the way of life that I am here to share with you, to talk to you about, that has been given to me, that has been revealed to me by Akal Purakh, Santok is very, very important. Contentment as a human being is very important to walking on the spiritual path that I am sharing with you. Now, contentment is something that we don't have, and that's why we're running around striving for more and more and more. Our way of life in North America, in the United States, has become a life of excessive consumerism, because we're not content with what we have, whatever that might be. That might be clothes, that might be jewelry, that might be personal achievement, that professional life, entrepreneurship, money, bank balance, net worth, whatever. We're not content. And it starts very young. We're overly indulgent parents, and we almost raise our children to be consumers by giving them excessive amounts of toys. You visit any home where there is a young child, and you will see that the entire living room and family room looks like Toys R Us, and the kids are bored with them, and they don't want to look at them. And what are they doing? They're walking into the kitchen, opening the pantry, opening the drawers, and playing with boxes and little Tupperware. So instead of engaging our kids in interactive activities, we're throwing toys at them, and we're making them basically want more and more and share less and less. And another example is that when of sharing less is when another kid visits these toys that have no interest for the child doesn't want to share them. This instinct is that of wanting more, owning more, hoarding more, and sharing less and wanting less. And as we grow from being children to adults, the toys change. From little phones to real phones, from little dinky cars to real cars. Hanji, to Teslas, yes, that's the new craze. The Prius takes you to work and back just as well, but no, it has to be Teslas because somebody else has it. So whatever our toy might be, and then the other interesting part is that once we have that, we're not done. We're bored with it. Okay, now it's to the next one. When is the next iPhone coming? So Santokh is the first step on spirituality that Guru Sahib tells us in this pauri, is where once you have contentment, bina santokh nahi ko raje. There are so many beautiful books out there that talk about the real riches being the riches that are within us, the riches of compassion, of sharing, of forgiveness, of wanting to do something for other people. That's where real happiness lies. Veech is going to talk about the pursuit of happiness. The research has shown several different research projects have shown that double the amount of money that you make does not equate to double the amount of happiness. It does not. A certain amount of money is needed to lead a good life, to have your needs taken care of. But beyond that, money or excessive amount of materialistic goods do not equate to happiness. So the Guru tells us, be content. Start with contentment. The truly rich are those who don't have many needs, whose desires have come to an end, have been fulfilled by being sublimated to something more superior, something more beautiful. Guru tells us that the riches of Naam are those that will make you rich and make others who come into contact with you rich. And this bank balance never shrinks. Once you have it, it keeps on multiplying. So Santokh is really, really important. Now, does Santokh mean passivity? Does it mean that you don't have any uddam? Does it mean that you don't strive to do anything at all? No, he corrects us right away if we go on that route thinking, okay, Santokh means, okay, I'm not going to do anything, right? No, he says saram, uddam, hard work. This goes hand in hand with Santokh. Be content with what you have. Don't envy those who have more, but at the same time strive, work hard. Working hard is a very, very important ethic or code of Sikhi. We're hard-working people. One of our 3 golden rules is to do kirat. We're not people who want to live on welfare. I was checking the numbers because I brought it up last time. Today, there are more people on welfare than those that are working full-time. 108.7 million people as of the 2013 numbers are on welfare. Now why? Because welfare pays more than minimum wage. And so we are encouraging that. Welfare was designed as a safety net. When people hit a hard spot, when you are in difficulty, the society, the network props you up. It's a support system. Being on welfare is not the Sikhi way. Sikhs work hard, they share what they have, and they do it righteously. They do it in a way that is honest, that is not taking somebody else's haq or somebody else what somebody else owns and making it their own. So livelihood of integrity, work that is sukirat, not just kirat but sukirat, good work that makes a positive contribution. There's a lot one can do that may not make a positive contribution to society, but our uddham, our saram has to be in the direction of doing positive work, making the world a better place, however that might be, whatever you choose to do. So saram, so instead of a begging bowl, the Guru said your value is saram. My value, this way of life that I'm showing you, here the patar, the begging bowl that the yogi goes out with, and the jholi that he puts forward when that bowl gets filled, that is your saram, he says. That is your hard work, that is your uddam that I want you to be doing. And there are many quotations in Gurbani that say, Kal khai kich hatho de, Nanak ra pachane se, right? And Uddam karo vad pagyo, yes.
I really like your translation of this for all these reasons. Santok and Saram balance out, and it talks about that very important aspect of Sikhi. But almost every translation I've seen translates that as humility, including this one over here.
Right.
Myself saying, and all the others say Saram humility.
It has.
But I think I like your translation.
So, the two are not mutually exclusive, right? Because words in Gurbani are nuanced, right? So even as you do saram, don't get proud. Be humble, because whatever you are doing, the fruits of that you are getting through grace. A lot of people work hard and it doesn't lead them anywhere. So work hard, but be humble in the work that you do. Be grateful. Be grateful for the opportunity of getting that job, getting that work, which is positive. There are so many people that want to work and for different reasons are unable to work. Whether it's ill health or the industry changing. So gratitude and humility that you have this body that is healthy, that can go out and work, and you've had the education. You had the education that enables you to get this job. Right now I'm not a big fan of Obama, but he said something that was grossly misinterpreted when he said that what you have achieved, you haven't achieved just by yourself. And perhaps he should have elaborated it, meaning that you had the opportunity to be born in a household where you got this income. You had the opportunity to be born in this country which had this support system which helped you get where you are. These people, the parents, the community that supported you. So nobody gets to the top on their own. So you don't need to be arrogant about your own achievements. Yes, be content, work hard, be humble, and know that whatever you are achieving is through grace, and that you are riding on the shoulders of others that have gone ahead of you, that have gone before you, right? Munda santok saram pacholi tyan ki kare vibhut. Now the yogis smear the body with ashes. The different interpretations why they do that. To not look beautiful, to keep themselves pavitr. So here Guru Sahib is saying that your dhyan, it is very important what you focus on, what you meditate upon, where your mind goes. So the latest research in neurology and the mapping of the brain shows that the brain has plasticity. Earlier they used to say whatever you've learned and then the brain cells die and that's it. No, even as you get older, you can learn new things. There are games that keep your mind active so that the cells do not degenerate. What is it that causes the brain to develop new networks, new neurons, new connections? It is intention and attention. Whatever you focus on, whatever you practice, wherever your dhyan is, wherever your attention is, that's where the new networks will start. That's where the new neurons will light up. That's where the brain will develop. And where do you want your dhyan to be? Guru Sahib, for us, walking the path of Sikhi, your dhyan should be in Vaheguru. Your dhyan should be in the purest consciousness that you can possibly summon. So, and once you do that, "Ja tu mera hoy rahe, sab jag tera hoy." Once you tap into that infinite resource of abundance, you will lack in that thing. So let your dhyan be in that. And it's very important to be very conscious and cognizant of where our dhyan is, where our mind is taking us, because that's, from thought develop actions, from actions our karma, our entire destiny. So we have to be master of our thoughts. We have to be master of our minds. And that's where this body will conclude ultimately. So be watchful of your dhyan. Focus your dhyan on things that are positive, that are going to again bring some good. And the ultimate dhyan is meditation, is in the Creator, is in the benedictions of the Creator, is in singing the praises, the naam, the chanting, all of that. Dhyan ki kare vibhut. Those are the ashes that you need to smear yourself with. Khinta kal kuari kaya. Khinta. Khinta is the robe, the patched coat that the yogis wear. That is their hallmark, and the patched coat may signify their detachment from silk robes, may show the detachment from accumulating beautiful clothes. But the Guru says, your khinta, your robe, your patched coat, your identity is that you remember death. When we are living in this world, we are constantly thinking that we are here forever. There's a beautiful line in Asa Diwar that says that when you know that everything is temporary and you're going to die, why would you accumulate bad deeds? Why would you do something wrong when you know that you're going to leave all of this here? And another line says that when you have foresight and you think ahead, you will not do any wrong. Banda mool na kiche, lambi nadar nihaliye. I may be misquoting it. Yeah. So when you think the lambi nadar, the ultimate goal, the ultimate end of this life is that we're going to go, that we're going to leave this world. So Stephen Covey also talks about starting your journey in any profession with the end in mind. He talks about the goal, but the end in mind for us is that we're going to die. So live every moment, every day of your life like it's the last day, that you're going to die. So how do we want to spend that time today? What do we want to do today so that our death is easy? There's a beautiful quotation by Kabirji that says that death becomes easy. Death is a tough milestone to cover from all accounts, but it becomes easy when you remember God.
The one that says Sela marna hoye.
Yeah. Je sahib manu na visre ta sela marna hoye. Kya jana kif marenge, kaisa marna hoye. How am I going to die? Who knows? But if I remember the Sahib in my heart, what happens when I remember the Sahib in my heart? When I remember the Sahib in my heart, I don't do wrong things. I remember the Sahib's instructions that be content, be pure, concentrate on goodness, be truthful. Those are the things I remember when I remember the Sahib. And when that happens, then death is easy. Then I don't suffer. And even in suffering, there is ease and there is grace. Because I have to undergo whatever I have reaped. My karam are there. But even in that, there is protection. So it's so important as we live every day to remember that we're going to die. And that, he says, should be the coat, the robe that you wear every day. And then what else? What should be the other patch on the robe? Khinta kal kuari kaya. Keep your body pure, your consciousness pure. Kavari is pure, untouched, virgin. Here I want to digress a little bit and talk about how the standards of morality have completely shifted as we've grown up. There used to be a time when it was very important to keep your girls protected, sheltered, so that they remain quote unquote pure. Now, even if people are aware that casual sex is a bad thing, but having sequential partners one after another is not considered such a bad thing anymore. It's like, well, that's the new normal. That's the new definition of monogamy in relationships. You don't have to be pure. You don't have to, get married someone to have a long-term relationship. So the whole standard of morality has shifted, and the whole standard of purity has shifted. the Guru over here takes us back to the basics and says, respect the body. Keep it pure, keep it virgin, keep it untouched. Not just in the physical thing, but also in your spiritual and mental spheres. Don't get polluted by things around you. Khinta kal kwari kaya. Your beautiful pure body. Jugat danda partit. So the staff that the yogi carries, the Guru says, let that be your skills. The danda is symbolic of the straight and narrow, the path that you're walking, right? It is your support. Basically you're carrying it to show, look, I am straight, I'm walking the straight and narrow. But those are the skills you want. That's the consciousness you want to have. And let the pureness of your life be the danda that you carry, and experience that, live in that belief. And then he says, Ai Panthi Sagal Jamati. Ai Panthi, we're all of us who are walking on this path. We're classmates. We're going to the school together. Sagal Jamati. We're all graduating, in the process of graduating. Some of us are kindergartners, some of us are maybe, hopefully we've taken a step forward, and sometimes we regress, But we're all struggling, we're all learning. That's why we are Sikhs. So one of the things that occurred to me in this was, so you don't know how the other student is doing. Let the teacher be the judge. Let the teacher give the grade. You don't start grading your students, your classmates. Let the teacher grade you. Let the Guru decide who is good or bad. You don't get into that. You don't do this and you don't do that, and that's why you're not as good as what I am, because I get up and I do this. No. Let the Guru be the ultimate judge, because you are a student. You're still learning. You're still making mistakes. None of us are perfect. Somebody may be good in one thing, somebody else may be good in another thing. So refrain from judgment. Keep learning. As a student, your only task, your only job, your only duty is to keep learning and to keep correcting your mistakes according to the guidance of the teacher. Ai Panthi Sagal Jamati. Ultimately, who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be standing on that platform that says first, top of the class? Ai Panthi Sagal Jamati, Man Jeete Jagjeet. This is the ultimate thing that you are here to do. Conquer the mind. Conquer the mind. The mind is the toughest thing to conquer. In a split second, it goes to a bazillion different places. And the places it goes to generally are not places you want it to go to. And the Guru also tells you that the mind is looking for shortcuts. It's looking for negative things. Gurmati e man horiye, man loche buraiyan. It is attracted towards gossip. Some people are talking about somebody else. You want to be a part of it. You want to add your 2 cents. Somebody is taking a shortcut in something else. As a student, someone else is doing, as a very crass example, Spark Notes. You decide you don't want to read the whole classic. You miss out on that beautiful experience of reading the whole thing, and you take the shortcut. You're always looking for shortcuts, but the shortcuts shortchange you, whatever that might be, professionally, your spiritually, intellectually. Take the long route. Don't take the easy way out. And constantly, forever, Gurmati e man horiye. The mind is like a horse or a monkey. You have to steer it. You have to constantly tame it. And what is it that you tame it with? You tame it with the Guru's wisdom. Gurmati e man horiye. That is the only way that the mind can you hope to tame the mind. It's very difficult. It takes lifetimes. But every day, every moment, when you are tempted to do something that may not be good for you or for someone else around you, remember if the Guru's guidance. So that's the straight and narrow. That's the danda. That's the jugat. Constantly steering the mind. Constantly being watchful, starting with your thoughts of what is right and what is wrong, according to the Guru's wisdom. Man jeete jag jeet. And if you do that, you'll win the world. Not just this world, but the universe. Log sukhiye par log suhele. You'll be happy here and in the hereafter. Ja tu mera hoye rahe, sab jag tera hoye. There is no struggle. There is no strife. Being in contentment is also being in acceptance, being in saran. When you are content, when you are in saran, when you are in acceptance, there are no complaints. There is no whining. There is no cribbing. There is no fretting. There is just this inner joy. There is this effulgence that reflects on your face, because the face is the index of the mind, they say. The eyes are the window of the soul, right? So there is love and warmth in your eyes. There's a glow on your face, because there is acceptance and there is joy in every moment that you're alive, that you're grateful to be alive. And to be in saran, to be born in this beautiful faith where you are not just seeking your own good, but the good of entire humanity. So that's how you win the world, not just this world, but the world, the universe. Man jeete jagdish. Ades, they say ades. Beautiful. I bow. I do namaskar. Kinnu? Now namaskar, what is bowing? Bowing is a symbol of surrender, of saying that you are great and I am nobody. Sab gun tere, main gun nahi koi, right? I mean I'm so full of qualities that are poor, of things that distract me. I lack goodness in so many things. I'm so imperfect. But I bow to you because you are the master. You are the Guni Nidhan. You are the treasure. I surrender to you. It's your wisdom that I want. Ades to say Adel. This is what doing namaskar is, that you are great and I'm not. You're beautiful and I'm not. You're truthful and I'm not. Ad Anil Anad Anahat. One that was there in the beginning, the one that is pure, the one that is endless, the one that has no boundaries. That's who I'm bowing to. And it is that I want to be a part of, so that I can, like the Midas touch, be transformed into pure gold by the touch of that infinite goodness, because that has the transformative power of changing me from a crass metal to becoming pure by conquering my mind. And so I bow to that power every day. Ades to say Ades, Adanil Anad Anad. Jug Jug Eko is that entity that has always been the same, that is there in its formless form, and that is there in its manifest form. That has always been there. And that's who I bow to, and that's who I acknowledge as my ultimate teacher, my Satguru, my transformative power, that energy that bestows so much benedictions on me. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I want to add something to it. Very often, this is interpreted as, if the Guru condemned the balis and the ashes and this and that, then how come we got this form? And we got the turban and the Kalaa and the 5 articles of faith. Are they as unnecessary? Are they subject to such questioning?
He's saying those things are unnecessary. He's saying don't focus on them. Go for the real depth of what real yoga is.
So, this is what he's not condemning that. But what he's saying is that without the values, it's great that we have the articles of faith, but we have to live up to the ideals. We have to live up to the ideals of the Sikhi, of the Khalsa consciousness that the Guru created. Without those ideals, we will be like the shell that has no meat inside. But we want to keep the Bani and the Bana intact, because if one is compromised, I guarantee you the other is compromised at some level, and each reinforces the other. Living the life of Bani reinforces the Bana. Being in Bana makes you cognizant of the inner values. Each reinforces the other.
But Bana also has a social side to it.
The contextual, the historical side.
That we have, we are a community.
Yeah, it binds us together.
Yeah,
it binds us together. You're absolutely right.
And we have to preserve
yes.
the essentials.
Yes. There's lots of benefits, but what I'm saying is that I just wanted to clear that this party is not saying that the outer identity is not important. What it's saying is that don't get caught up in just the outer stuff. Develop the inner so that it goes hand in hand with the outer.
I think it does clearly say that it doesn't make sense. I think it does say that the real sense is far more important than that.
What I'm focusing on, VG, is the questions that come up.
Defensive about it because you're worried about it.
I'm not being
important, but you can't put them on the same level. This makes it very clear that they're not in the same.
So VG, I'll tell you how I see it. How I see it is, I begin with this assumption that whatever the Guru said is correct, whatever the Guru did is correct, right? So when the Dasme Paatshah created the Khalsa people and took the Amrit, right, and gave us this Bana, that is correct. That is something that is not open to question for me. Okay, that's my interpretation. Now, Guru Nanak Sahib gave us this body, right? So did the Guru say or do something in contradiction? No, it isn't. It is
one body because all over the Guru Granth Sahib. Guru looks at every different community when he talks about Islam.
right.
He talks about the real meaning of the 5 prayers, the real meaning of the masjid, the real meaning of this, and he does the same kind of interpretation of, if you really want to be a Muslim, make this your 5 prayers, make this your
Right, right.
Same thing he does with the Brahmin, same thing he does with the Pandit, and he's not the only one who does it, Kabir does it, all of them.
No question there. No question
The
there.
concept that the external symbols of a given path are fine, but you really have to go much deeper.
You have to go much. No question. No contest. Yeah. No.
So what
Yeah.
I'm saying is to make it very clear that the reality of the path, the essence of the message, is far more important than the external form.
I see.
That's what I see.
I see.
It becomes so many
Yeah.
pieces. As you said, you said first what the Guru says is right and you have to listen to it.
Right.
And
Right.
Guru Gobind Singh Ji said that Guru Granth Sahib is your Guru.
Right. And
So by taking this seriously, we are actually listening to your brother.
right.
Now again, I'm not saying you should give up the...
No. What I'm saying is each strengthens the other. Alka said something very beautiful last time. She said that the whole persona of a Sikh guy, basically it evoked trust. It evoked this feeling of here is a savior, here is someone you can turn to.
That's because of their personal, their behavior, how they actually...
Because of the life they lived.
Exactly.
Because of the life they lived. But they wouldn't have been, you couldn't have recognized them without the outer persona. I'm just saying this, that
I'm not arguing against it.
right, so yeah,
I'm not arguing against the external form.
right. So I'm just,
Let's take the message for it is and not superimpose a different message.
so what I'm saying is that over here also the Guru is not telling them to give up their path. That is a legitimate path. But while you have all these things, endow them with a deeper meaning. That's all. Live the inner life so that your outer form becomes more meaningful and isn't a shell. That's how I read it. All right. Bye.
Also, this happens in modern times, and we fortunately everybody, Sikh or not, has the freedom of opinion,
Yes.
and we cannot therefore dictate everything to every Sikh. Guru said this.
We cannot, and we cannot judge or condemn either. That's very important. Hum nahi change, bura nahi koi, right? That's very important. But we're talking about our. This is one person's, opinion. That's another person's opinion. So, but the ideal, we don't try to change what is said. We're all fallible. We're all falling short of the ideal. Each one of us. And so we don't judge or condemn. That's why I said, let the teacher grade. You don't grade.
I agree with you. I was only emphasizing that there is we are lucky.
There's freedom of choice everywhere. Yeah.
Freedom of to think our own way. We are not drones either. I'm sorry, what's the right word? We are not robots.
Yeah. No.
So we have the ability to think, and that should not be sacrificed.
No. And Guru doesn't want us to be.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. No. Sikhi, Sikhya, Gur, Vichaar. Think, reflect. Self-reflect. Self-reflection is very important. I think.
I was getting out of it. Don't define Sikh in terms of these kind of forms.
Only.
But in terms of
Yeah.
the life we live.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Both good.
I have seen a lot on the Facebook, like particularly, I see young guys with all in from India, all kinds of glorious clothes, Sikhi looking, and the guys are running by, living on their father's income. Just no good life.
No, absolutely. That's a shell. Then that's a shell. There's nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it can be deceiving as well.
It's a shame then, right?
I mean, there's all those things.
I believe that the two go hand in hand. Each reinforces the other. And I'll tell you something. This is true in other aspects of life too. I started doing aquatic exercises. Okay, I started doing aquatic aerobics. Okay, I had to give up because I was allergic to chlorine. Now, when I started doing that, suddenly I became much more conscious of eating right. I gave up eating sugar completely. It's 2.5 months since I've had any sugar at all. I gave up gluten. So one led to the other. One good thing, I'm like, all right, I'm taking care of my body. I'm doing this 1 hour of exercise every morning. I have to eat well. And so one good thing reinforced the other. And I think similarly, if I slip in one area, I know this for myself, that if I don't start my day right, and I miss an important aspect of what I should be doing, then I slip in other areas. Chalo, I ran do, chalo fir ho jayega. So I really think one good habit, one good thing supports another.
Jessi, you look wonderful, and I think you should write a book.
She has written books
On giving up the sugar and
Giving up what? All right. Thank you. No, seriously, I don't miss it. Gluten and sugar together. I had such horrible cravings for 2-3 weeks.